jump in there?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm trading videos right now. I'm gonna go onto my computer if you could just accept me.
Oh, sorry about that, Terrence. Did that didn't work? Hang on. Oh, there you are. There you go. Just watch the sound if you're trading. Okay,
All right.
so here's the other thing then. Think exitability, guys. Still just thinking 2 buckets here of lead generation. But here's where I'm going to do a lot more than $10,000 for you. I did promise some big numbers today. And this is it. I'm pretty sure Derek said he could double his leads from 5 to 10. Derek, what's your, or not Derek, Drake. Sorry, Derek, I'm not picking on you. Drake, what's your average ticket price right now?
My average ticket price right now is about $1,000.
Perfect. So you just went from $5,000 to $10,000 a week by putting a compelling offer on your business card. Is that what we all came here for? Probably a little, looking for a little more than that. But nevertheless, that's real money, right? That's big money. At the end of the month, we're talking a difference of $20,000 plus. So at the end of the year,
Yeah.
that's big money. Now, here's the thing. At the end of the decade, Drake, what do you intend to do with your business? Are you still going to be working it?
Oh, yes. Yeah, definitely.
2 decades?
No, well, hopefully not. I better not be.
What would you do? Sell it? Pass it on?
Most likely sell it because I don't think my kids would want it.
Okay. Anyone else ever think about the time they have to sell their business one day? Is that an exit strategy anyone's got? Well, I can tell you there's no better time to start thinking about exitability than right now. You're in the planning stages. So you got a couple options. We can let the wind blow and see where it takes us. As my mentor says, all paths lead to the unplanned future. Hey, where are you going? I don't know, but I got here. Awesome. What's your company worth? I don't know. Haven't checked. I'm going to retire soon. Okay, how? I don't know. This is kind of arbitrary, right? So let me connect the point here. Drake just went from someone who's just in bucket 1 only. He put a compelling offer on just a business card. Now he's working 2 buckets. When everyone else slowed down, Drake didn't. What happened? People phoned him for the compelling offer. The investor who looks at his business and then looks at James Matson's business, he says, oh, James, I'm sorry, I can't remember the name of your business. I'm not trying to be mean here.
That's okay, no judgment.
Okay. So he sees a business that buys leads and gets leads through SEO. Okay, and he's done well. James has done well over the years. That's fine. But Drake's controlled his income. He's controlled revenue. And in the same times that James saw a bit of an ebb and flow, right? A bit of a lull in the work, Drake didn't. He picked up in other ways. So from an investment standpoint, without doing evaluation, which business would I buy? Anyone guess? Make you say it?
Drake.
Why wouldn't you, right?
Right. I
would encourage every business owner on the face of the earth to get to know bucket 2. Guess what? It's uncomfortable because you're an electrician, not a marketer. What do you know about putting an offer together? Rob, do you know anything about marketing?
I'm not very good at it.
No, and nor am I. Nor am I. This stuff, you learn it, right?
Yep.
It's experience. I can tell you the biggest thing that holds all of us back, and this is the key problem with mentorship. Am I going to put you guys to sleep, or should I continue this phrase?
Oh, keep it going. This is great stuff.
Thanks, Drake. The key problem with mentorship is Roy's already done it. Lloyd's already done it. I've already done it, but you haven't done it. Or maybe they haven't done it, guys. I'm just saying names. But if you haven't done it, what are you missing? A key component in execution is confidence, experience. It can't be replaced. There's only one way to move forward with something so uncomfortable, and it's faith. It's just believing in it. It's trust. I know, because I do coach calls with people, and I've had people in tears. I got one-on-one coaching happening. I've got guys in tears because it's that uncomfortable. You'd rather quit your business than develop a compelling offer, something to say at a networking event, much less actually go to the networking event. But I want you guys to know I'm not picking on anyone that gets to that point. I'm just saying it happens to all of us, because whether it's marketing or it's jumping from a plane, we're all going to push ourselves in ways.
Hello.
It might as well be a way that pushes your business too. What's that, Terrence?
I was trying to get my speaker to work. I've been trying to answer most of your questions with.
Okay, well, I heard you now. Are you still with us?
And then, yes, I am.
Awesome.
But I'm still trying to get it fixed up. Right.
Okay, well, we can hear you, so fantastic. Continue to contribute. I love it. Thank you. So yeah, I mean, it's a big piece, and that valuation difference is massive. And guess what? I did promise you guys a treat, so you're going to see a bit of this in a report that I'm not just going to show you a bit of. You're getting your own report emailed to you with your information that you filled out that form with. Okay, and on this report, as long as you filled out that form, on that report, it's going to show you 12 areas with just a 1% increase. It's going to demonstrate the law of compound growth. Einstein said compounding was the 8th wonder of the world. You guys ever heard of that?
Yes, I did.
Nice, Terrence. Way to go, buddy. So he who understands it earns it. He who doesn't pays it. Compound interest. It's a big subject. What I can tell you is, to simplify it, that it's not just about money. It's about time and effort. The truth is, Robert, you're maxed out. You're out of time, right, buddy? You're not going to work Sundays.
Nope.
So what are you going to do?
Don't know.
Not to make you uncomfortable, my friend. Thank you for contributing. Time is the real crunch, gentlemen. Leads are actually easy. We just have to talk to people and tell them your unique value, your ability. I can help you. That's actually not that hard. It's uncomfortable at times. But once you figure it out, Roy, is there anything uncomfortable with you? Is there anything uncomfortable talking to a new client prospect at this point?
No, not really.
No,
You know what you do, right?
It's I'm pretty much an open book with my customers.
Terrence, you get uncomfortable with customers?
No, any opportunity I have, I try to sell. If I catch you on the road, I sell it to you. I mean, only thing I have uncomfortable is selling service.
Dispatch fees.
Nah, dispatch fees is not it. It's just not the service fee, but I've been trying to figure this out for the longest, where just passive income.
Okay,
Just
passive income.
Just getting them to pay me monthly to come for their safety. I just don't know how to sell that.
Okay.
I have a couple of friends that's in Texas, one in Colorado, and the other one in Illinois, that they sell a service package.
Absolutely.
He sold 14 of them just in April at $89 a month.
Yeah.
14 by 89. He ain't going nowhere, checking GFIs. I mean, I'm pretty sure all of us work for construction companies where we have to do temporary and then go check GFIs, go to a client house once a month and check GFIs for $89. 89 times 12, you do the math. That's like $1,100 a month that you just drove up and kind of just.
I'm glad you brought that up, Terrence, because it's been on my mind too. And it's part of a presentation. You guys don't know this. I did a whole 3-hour presentation for this. I was going to go traditional format, over-educate everyone, talk the whole time. And last minute, I was like, you know what? I'm just tired of just talking out of my brain. Let's just have conversations at the heart and deal with some real issues with you guys. I hope that this is a comfortable format and that everyone's getting stuff from this. It's such a shift. Like I was just frustrated. But anyway, this was one of the things on my mind, Terrence. Absolutely, because someone in the Rebs group, they posted this on the page, their service offer page, and I've got it saved. And I thought about sharing it, but it's not my page and they're not here. But here's what I can tell you. A little more than a GFI check. And I know how they did it. You ever heard that phrase, build it and they will come? It's a little bit different, and this might sound cheesy and a bit of a platitude, but now in the digital age, build it and they will come feels a little bit like a blow up balloon animal. But here's the thing, when they're building Rome, there was absolute conviction. You could not go to anyone working on that construction and go, what are you doing? Right? What the hell is this? There's no value in this. There's too much blood, sweat, and tears. So it comes back, circles back to this confidence conversation. And I'm not saying you need to sell it. I'm saying you need to believe it. $89 is not a lot, Terrence. But you're right, it adds up. And here's the bigger piece. That offsets your acquisition costs for all those leads you're buying, James.
Well, I stopped buying these, and I'm if I could get a second of your time, and I could just read out one of my partners' lead. He just sent this out, and I couldn't think of it. $89. Check main electrical panels, and he put the value next to it. Overheating, burn marks. He just checked one of those. Tighten up loose connections, very important. Check overload circuits and trip frequency. Check breaker temperatures. Checking grounding systems. Proper grounding prevents accidents. He tell you what he's doing, and he tell you the value of having that done. And at the end, he got about 10 things to check off to go to a client house to do. Check attic and crawl space wiring for rodent damage. Catch it early. You know what I'm saying? Accuracy of panel labeling. And I'm pretty sure while you're going through these things, you're going to find something that the customer is going to need and say, hey, do this. So on top of the $89, you got a service charge, or you're building trust in your client. I believe in building trust like in clients. Like most of us have barbers that we just go to the same barber all the time. Why do we go to that same barber all the time? Because we like the way he do. We trust him.
Because he pours me an old fashioned and rubs my feet while he cuts my hair. Okay, I admitted it. It's a good business model, I swear. But I agree with you. That takes us to bucket 3, Terrence, too. But I got to say, the $89 doesn't get you rich. And the passive income is only a piece of it. When we were comparing companies, right, we had James' company, just bucket 1. Leads come, or he buys leads, and we don't know what the schedule is going to do. Company 2 had bucket 2 going as well. They knew how to offer and how to sell, how to market themselves. Now bucket 3 knows how to discover other needs from those same clients. That's the inspection bucket. This is the good conversation bucket that I have a feeling Roy's pretty good at. Right? Part of that networking bucket too. You can discover leads and then you know what to offer. And that's a superpower. Now, selling these service packages, sure, you could go door to door or send out flyers or do it that way. But I reckon you'd have a lot better success selling it to someone who's already bought from you.
I just sent a whole bunch of them through email and personal mail door to door. I just dropped them off at the post office just earlier today.
Well, good for you. I want to hear how that goes. So do update us. I think we'd all love to hear that.
And I also put it in a system called Nextdoor.
Right. Nextdoor, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Let me ask you, Nick. I'm going to pick on you again. Nick and Pam, hello.
Yes.
Can you see how if you used all 3 of these buckets, you could essentially create a growth loop and never need work again?
I can, yes.
My biggest concern for like is when do you, because I can market all day long.
Oh shit, Pam's on it.
Over marketing, to where when do you decide? Okay, I mean, I guess it's you're working all the time. It's time to hire a new person.
I'm
Kinda
so glad
thing.
you said that, Pam.
Kill him. Like I don't want to.
Yeah. No, I'm so glad you said that. Pam, the only thing more important than marketing that business, because I know you can do it. I know you guys would be great. Is start looking for your A players. Your marketing for the right people is more important than 95% of us give credit for. And I can explain why, if you'd like.
Absolutely.
Anyone else learn machine efficiency in their apprenticeship at all? Output over input?
I honestly just train up the new guys and get my value from them. I have a couple of new guys that I bring with me, and and basically I personally don't do the work. I'm 50 years old. So
Right.
I got the guys, they basically set up everything, get them comfortable about ripping out a panel, how to label it, they get excited. So if I see excitement in them, I continue to train. Now, getting them to be able to sell the product or my brand TLC is harder for me than getting them to do the work. So
It takes a lot of training.
as far as me, I get them and they do it, and now I teach them how to do it the hard way, and I teach them the easy way. But I honestly don't turn that many tools anymore.
Okay, well, I'm going to give you a quick theory on this. Machine efficiency. It's important because when we give electricity to a machine, we don't necessarily see the same amount of effort back out on the shaft of, say, a motor, right, on a motor shaft. So the formula for that is output divided by input times 100. Did anyone see that formula ever? Machine efficiency?
Must be a
Okay. Canadians. I guess we're better electricians. I don't know what to tell you. Where's Janet? Am I alone again? What the hell happened here?
I had to step away from it, but the is that that formula isn't actually true.
What?
Because of counter electromotive forces, and there's no such thing as what is that called? I forgot. I lost the term. But
Yeah, there's counter EMF.
now you get it, but it's a moot point.
Okay. Well, I'm going with this anyway. You'll have to search it for yourself because I think we're going to agree to disagree there, Lloyd. You can't get 100% out from 100% in a machine because there's friction and heat loss and other forms of energy that go away. The same is true for you running a business. This is where Lloyd has said, listen, you can't run a business from behind the tool belt or the steering wheel of the van. And you can, but your business is a machine. It needs to be a well-oiled machine. And the thing is, if you're doing the indirect work, the estimating, the invoicing, and you're doing the direct work, Nick, I see your shadow. I'm assuming you can hear this. He's probably over there just crying for a minute, taking a break. I'm doing all this work. And you're working on the business, presumably, you should be. The only thing that pays you is the direct work. So output over input, right? If you spend, let's say, 30 hours a week on billable, that's your direct. But then there's that indirect and working on the business. You're still working a 50 or 60-hour week. You're only 50 to 60% efficient. How do you ever catch up? This is the big problem, and now you can see it in numbers and math. It's absolutely explainable. So my mentor said, continues to say, and I repeat this a lot, that your greatest success will be realized through the leverage of other people. Here's the bad news, boys and girls. If you don't have that leverage, guess what? You are the leverage. You are that machine that's tired, hot, suffering from friction, heat loss. That makes sense?
Yeah, I also had a guy who wanted to buy my company, actually told me something extremely similar. He
Oh,
said,
really?
yeah, he told me if you had a company that can operate without you, then that's a valuable company. No one want to buy a company if it can't operate with you. So you
That's
have
right.
to have your company be able to operate without you, so you can spend time doing what you enjoy, and you just show up and see what's going on. And then he said normally they're buying companies at 6 to 8 times their yearly profit, without the profit, but net cost. So if your company's bringing in 2.1, multiply that by 8, and that's what they normally buy it at. I took a lot of time doing this and researching, and took a crap load of classes, just to understand the business side behind the doors, the office where the doors that we say, I wonder what they're doing over there. So I took maybe 2 years of classes to understand most of this. Now, my shortcoming is I still have fallen short on the back office here. And hopefully I can get some information between everybody.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's
I
awesome.
I did out of that 2 years, did I am an upfront pricer, and I end up doing over 2,000 upfront prices and created a spreadsheet to 2,000 prices in the process of doing an app for guys like us here who can't or don't have the time or don't have the thought of putting together, but can utilize something that already have it in their head. And if they have it in their hand, it can make them a lot more efficient or quicker with their decisions of pricing.
Yeah, for sure. I think those sound like benefits. I don't know enough about the app, but I appreciate that input. Just to close a loop here, I got to circle back to Pam and make sure she got the point on that one. Hiring, pretty big
Yeah.
strategy to get on, right?
I agree. Yeah.
Here's the other thing. Again, I told you about this company I was just consulting for locally, big high voltage company. A mess, disaster. I'm trying to work out a fairly substantial contract with them at the moment, but management, right? They hired me as a consultant to come in and run a project for them. But what I did is found all the gaps in management. And the reason for that is, I can explain this to you, we're in a highly technical trade. Our trade doesn't actually franchise well because you need a master electrician in another state. Why wouldn't he just do it himself? Franchising is actually a simple process, but our trade doesn't do it well. Pressure washing, yes. Gardening, yes. Electricians, no. Who should manage an electrical company? Any ideas, Pam?
The owner.
The owner, the electrician, yeah.
I mean, to
What-
start with, I would,
Absolutely. Yeah. What about when you don't want to be involved? Who's next in line to manage Garner Electric?
my number one, whoever that is.
I would agree with you. I bet you that number one's an electrician too, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is why it's critically important. And personally, I don't believe myself, my humble opinion, guys, take it or leave it. Hiring just one person doesn't give you enough competitive strike. It doesn't give you enough to see who's going to stand out in your company and rise. I would recommend getting to 3 in a hurry so that you can see who's coming up, who doesn't fit. And ABH, always be hiring.
And
That would be my goal. Sorry, Roy?
so they'd be quick to fire also.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. We had a chat about this. Roy's had some tough experiences with people he felt were maybe good for a leadership role. Do you mind sharing a bit about your last supervisor, Roy?
No, not at all. You know, I hired a guy on that I've known for 15 years to come in and be that supervisor, project manager / estimator, alleviate some of my workload. Let me have some more free time to work on the business and spending time with the family and stuff. And so I'm gotten to the point right now where the business is running me and I'm not running the business. It's a very uncomfortable feeling. I've got to figure that next step out and how to manage that to make myself happy again. So I brought this guy on, paid him a bucket load of money to move, relocate, come here. Like I said, I've known him for 15 years. We worked together for 7 of those years. He's a great electrician and came in, was, you know, doing things the way I wanted. He was implementing some of his own processes and stuff. And, you know, we were starting to build something. He ends up having to go get a kidney removed and was out of work for a month. I find out during that month, my guys finally gained the balls to come talk to me and tell me, you know, that he's smoking pot on the job. He's offering to smoke pot with the helpers of the company truck, you know, either to and from the job, on the job, whatever it was. It didn't matter at that point. And, you know, I had to let him go. You know, I have zero tolerance for stuff like that. There's no reason for it. I mean, it doesn't matter how good an electrician you are, how good you think that person's going to be. We all have flaws, you know. Why he chose to do that, I don't know. But it ruined a great friendship on top of losing a great employee or electrician, not employee.
And this is kind of unrelated, but I'll be brief. Most states require, before you can become an electrical contractor, most states require a minimum hours as an electrician to become an electrical business owner. And the qualifications that you need to be an electrical contractor aren't electrically related. So electricians will spend a decade or more becoming a qualified electrician and then own a business because that's the direction that the state is pushing you in. And you don't have the qualifications to own or operate that business. You have to learn them the same way you learned how to become an electrician. So you've put your decade or more of time in becoming an electrician, but you put, in most cases, we put no time in becoming a business owner.
Absolutely.
Me too.
Yeah.
I had to screw up to get it right.
And that's ultimately, that's why we're all here. I'm a master electrician too. That's where I started. I failed my first business trying to do concrete. Thank God. I do not want to do concrete, you guys. My back's not built for it. Anyways, I do want to follow that up, Lloyd, because that's wonderful, and that's exactly where my mind went. I'm going to make a projection right here. It's on record. Okay, we're going to see a major shift because we're in the great era of resignation. We're going to see a major shift, and we already are, of people that want to be in business for themselves. But business is hard, 75% still fail. So what's your edge? Let's make a pact. None of us in here are going to fail, okay? Why? Because you came here today. You took the first step. You're taking the first steps. You're educating yourself. You're making yourself better. Are we in agreement? No one in here fails. Okay, this is our pact. The people that now want to rise up and work for themselves, this is my projection, a lot of employee owner companies where people buy shares of your company and thus get a share of profits. And this is why it's more and more important to understand the business, because that's what separates you from them. It's not that you stand on your shoulders and you don't teach them the business. It's just that you'll always be ahead because you're that much further down the road. It takes a long time for someone to catch up in this. So it's important to know your marketing. It's important to understand sales. It's important to set up your fee structure. The real shortcoming is that people learn all this. It would be easy to do it again. What did we say about mentorship earlier? The main advantage they have is experience. The first million is the hardest, they say. Would you earn $1 million and then stop playing with money? Or is it time to maybe invest again and make some more now that you've got something to play with?
Up the ante.
Up the ante. So in a business, again, tying to my projection, you can't franchise very well, but you can open a second shop. You can do this stuff again in a nearby area. And you could focus it on employee owners that are going to represent you in that area. And you could still be the CEO of a multifaceted business. I think we're going to see more and more of that. Anyone seen a business set up like that before? Terrence, you have?
There was a company called Braswell Electric. He started off in Atlanta and moved to Tallahassee, Jacksonville, and Orlando. And then he moved here, and I was the original guy to run it in South Florida.
Thank you.
I think Johnson Controls used to be set up that way. I think they've switched to an employee model now.
Okay. Yeah, that's just a projection. That's just one way. I mean, one of the things we discussed earlier, and I think electricians miss this a lot, we're all looking for what everyone else is doing that's working. But business is a trade in itself. And I'm telling you, most electricians don't know what's working in business. Sometimes following the 95%, following the herd is not the right move. Kansas City Shuffle, Bruce Willis called it. When everyone's looking right, you go left. Sometimes that works. Don't go against people just out of the sake. It's not a good idea. So you guys heard of the Pareto principle before? The 80-20 rule? I'm just going to tie back into that ownership. Nick's like, God, I just want to stop taking notes now. We've had enough. Brain overload, Nick, or are we still good?
Oh, we're good.
All right, man. Thanks for hanging in there. We are coming close to an end. I don't think we're going to do a full 2.5. It's too much. 5-pillar framework is what we're working with. 80-20 rule. All I'm going to tell you is 20% of your efforts have 80% of the impact. 80% of your efforts have 20% of the impact. And we're speaking to your profitability right now. Ray, how many employees do you have again?
I have 7.
Okay. I don't know how to do 80-20 math on 7, but assuming there were 10 to make it simpler, I would say that 8 out of 10 really do 20% of the work, and 2 out of 10 are like heavy champions, killing it, holding the place up. That's something I've noticed, at least on projects. Do you notice any trends like that with your people?
I do. I mean, I've got one he's a rock star. I mean, anybody I send him to, I get nothing but great feedback from him. The things that he can accomplish and stuff. He was an apprentice, and I trained him, before I started my own business. But he is, he's one that I'm trying to push to come into that supervisor role, and try to promote within the business. But he's not ready for it. He doesn't think. I think he is. I wasn't ready to hire him when I did, but I got pushed into it, but my accountant was a great mentor of mine when he was alive, and helped and pushed and encouraged me to hire people, when I was scared to do it. And he was actually trying to get me to open up another shop in the hill country, 2.5 hours away. I was scared to do that. With what you're saying and stuff, and I'm like, damn it, kicking myself in the ass for not doing it,
Sorry, Ray. So we find that balance kind of maintains itself. I've seen it in people a lot, but it happens in profitability. It happens all over. You start paying attention. So what I mean by that is, Roy, even if that supervisor, one of the 20% there, moves up into a different role, someone will take his position. That's just the way it works. Harvard, big school down there, right? University. There's an author, Malcolm Gladwell. I think it was called David and Goliath. He wrote this book. What's a lesser known university in the States? What's a small one? Anyone have one on mind? Say like a Washington State or something. I just don't know enough about it. But the point is, between Harvard and that lesser known university that people are embarrassed to go to, same amount of people in the class get A's. The same amount get B's. The same amount get C's. And the same amount fail. I'm not making this shit up, you guys. Humans are really strange creatures. We have limitations. And so literally, if you're a college kid facing a university decision, it might serve you to go to a smaller school and be a big fish, rather than go to Harvard and risk failing as a small fish in a big pond, because the 80-20 principle is all around us. We find ourselves in natural balance. And when we try to upset that balance, sometimes it's just going against the grain. It just doesn't work out well. And with staff, that can be it. So it's something to pay attention to. But in profitability too, in what you do to work on the business, I can tell you the 5 things that have that 80% impact on your profitability. Alrighty? 1 through 5. So your number of leads. So getting more leads, getting more conversions, increasing the number of transactions per lead, either by multiple sales, downsells, upsells, cross-sells, something so that it increases the number of credit card swipes. Number 4 is you're raising your average price, increasing prices. And number 5, last but not least, is increasing your profitability. When we do those things in conjunction, we see a compound effect. So in each of those areas, I told you guys I was sending you a report, right? There's 12 areas on this report. It's coming to you real quick. We're just about 10 to 5. I'm going to try and finish up here shortly. So on this report, there's 12 areas, but they're breakdowns of this. This is the high level thing, okay? So 12 of these areas, though, 1% each, you'd think, hey, I'm going to improve 12% this year. That's not the case. It's not the case. It compounds. It's much bigger than that, and you'll see on that report. In these 5 areas, you know what? I should just show you. I'll show you some report. We'll just look at it for a second.
I'm going to cut you off while you're looking for that because I have to step out and prepare the class that I'm having at 9 o'clock.
Thank you.
And I appreciate everybody that showed up. I have to step out. And I will figure this out, I'm certain. If you're not coming at 9, I'll wait for it regardless. At 9 o'clock, I'm going to show how to take some of this into action at a lower cost.
Thanks, Lloyd.
Yep. You have a good day, Clay.
You too, buddy. See you, little Mel.
And I will figure this out. I have no idea why that came up.
All right. Okay, guys, I can't see your faces anymore, so you're going to have to let me know. I know we're on the home stretch. People are tired. Are we learning things? We're getting some good takeaways here?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You got one yes, 2 yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Woo!
Yes.
Is everyone taking notes? You guys got a page of notes yet?
Yes.
Yes.
It's a short page.
Oh, yeah.
You know what? That's flattering because I never asked anyone to take notes, and I'm such a note taker. I just love it. Okay, you guys can see my screen, right?
Yes.
So I did this.
More.
Oh, sorry, what?
The thing you just had up with the 1%.
Profit
There it is.
acceleration.
I found it.
You got it?
Yeah.
Okay. So every one of you guys are getting this in the email, like, toot sweet. Mariel, my assistant's working late tonight. She's got this. She prepared emails for each of you. You've got your own reports, so you don't even have to go and enter your email into this because we did that for you with your information. What an effort. But I wanted to make sure that you got this, okay? And your output looks like this. Your profit acceleration simulator, congratulations. A fancy little tool that we use. You've seen a couple pictures of this, I'm sure. 12 steps. There's actually 40. This is a jumpstart 12. We do a deep dive 40 as well. Okay. Any questions so far?
No.
You're going to get this page. It's going to be in that email. You can click any step and go down to it. And guess what? There's a 1 to 3 minute video on there. I don't know if you guys can hear that. Probably not. I can't. It's going to explain the subject matter in a way that you can begin to put it to work. Now, I want to explain something very important here. The lowest number we chose to use today, because we had a couple people just starting out, right, that didn't quite know where they're going to be at. And I said, you know what, you're all capable. You're all deserving of 100K, and I know that you can do that. Don't believe me? Stick with me. I promise you. If you can't do 100K, we'll fix it. I promise you that. Okay, so 100. Gross profit margin, 40. It's the lowest we would allow people to choose, and it's the lowest I would accept for you as well. If you don't think you can do it, again, I challenge you. We can do this, guys.
What's the industry standard on that? Do you know?
62 and 19. 62 gross profit margin, 19% net profit margin. I gave you the benefit of 1% here for all your reports, but your gross profit margin you reported is going to be in there. Okay, and we did just a 1% tick in each of these 12 areas. So the lowest possible report that anyone received today was a profit increase of 30%, $6,038. Now the important piece here is, if we just add these up, 1, 2, 3, I'm just going to read the number on the side, 12. That's 12%, right? Well, why is it 30 over here? Cumulative compound growth, guys. This is the impact of working on things. 1% every day, every day, every day, every day, every day. 1%, 1%, 1%, 1%. I want you to hear this when you're trying to sleep tonight. 1%, 1%, 1%. You guys, you got to be the Energizer Bunny. Resilient, dogmatic in your approach. Never ceasing to aim for that little improvement every day. And if you do it in these different areas over time, I promise you massive breakthroughs. Deep dive 40, there's another 28 areas. That's 100% profit increase. It's on a graph, so it must be true.
That's hilarious.
Guys, this is what I'm telling you. Success is just math. Business, it's math. It's the people stuff that's hard. The first person we got to work with is you. That's the hard part. What do we do first? The roadmap will show you. It prioritizes this stuff. I've got profit acceleration software. We go through and literally go through each category, ask questions, and dictate really what your profit potential is, because 1% is child's play. This is a max of 10, and guess what? If you only have one employee and that's you, and that's why you're making 100K, 40%, 20%, we can easily double that, can't we? What if we add another person? Is 10% even realistic? No, it's probably 20 or 30. Maybe that's a 446% increase. Well, how much bigger did you think that electrical company was down the road from you that you've been eyeing up, trying to follow along a little bit? Right? So this stuff is just the science of numbers. I want you to know and feel comfortable that this is always here. And this doesn't cover all the electrician strategies. Diagnostics fees are not part of these 40. Dispatch fees, not part of this 40. Service plan on the back end, not part of this 40. But it's a huge uptick in your business, wouldn't you agree? All right, so that's what you're going to get. You got this whole thing, a little video in each of these 12 areas. Market dominating position, one of my personal favorites. Butchered a workshop on this because I talked too much. See, I know my faults. I'm human too, guys. I try to educate the piss out of you guys instead of just having a good old conversation. Okay.
Through that, I decided to start charging a service call charge for everything, any service call that we go out on. And I hadn't done that in over 3 years. And I'm curious to see, what that turns out to do for the business itself.
Absolutely. Anyone else going through that change or have that implemented?
I just did
Yes,
that recently
I've
myself.
implemented it too, so. Just like
Nice.
James does.
Fantastic. Okay, who's tired? Put your hand up.
Me,
Okay, that's a good sign. That was only like 3 or 4 of us. Not bad, not bad. Who got pretty engaged tonight?
me.
There's some good takeaways here.
Yeah.
Is everyone a little better now than they were when they came?
Much better.
Will you guys do me one favor? Do you guys know how to use the chat box?
Yeah.
Fill up the chat box and type in your one takeaway for the night. Please, that helps me for the future. Please do that for me. If you got more than one, just choose your biggest one. What's the one thing you're going to implement? And you don't even have to say it, but you tell me, or you don't say it, but you tell yourself, keep it in your head, what and how are you going to take action on that? How is it going to improve your business? And picture that now. Love the sound of a keyboard typing. It's usually mine. Keyboard nerd.
Seems like your offer talk there's got a lot of traction with Clay.
My what talk?
So you're talking about, creating an offer for your customer.
Oh, yeah, I wasn't even looking at that. I appreciate that because that was really the point, to come and talk about the 3 buckets.
It's something I've never thought to do before. It's never crossed my mind. I don't know of anybody else doing it either, guys that I talk to.
Yeah.
I have a question. I must have missed off on offer on business cards. I'm lost.
That's okay. You were a bit late, Terrence. That's all right. We weren't going to bring that up again. We didn't want to make you feel bad.
Well, I have my business card is digital, so it's more I just tap it on their phone. So I always feel like if a person get a piece of paper, 9 times out of 10, I would say 50% of the time they throwing it on the floor, they lost it. But mine's tap on their phone and all my information goes to their phone, and it's metal.
Right. Well, I appreciate that, Terrence. That's awesome. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, the offer I think is really important, guys, because it's going to give you that control, right? So I appreciate everyone's feedback there. That's a huge help. That's recorded again, just to make sure. Terrence, you joined late, but this is recorded. I think you had to accept that when you came in. Is that right? You're okay with that? Okay, so if someone sees this, you didn't reveal anything you're worried about?
No, I wasn't stripping today, so I'm good.
Perfect. You guys, do you think this is useful? Would you do it again?
In a heartbeat.
We started out a little bit slow, right? Here's the thing. I appreciate that, Derek. Thank you, Drake. Here's the thing. I've developed this and a way for us to do this monthly. Okay? And I've done that in such a way that we can incubate some of the smaller businesses, right? Work with and still grow some of the larger ones that are with us. And we can do this for more affordable than ever before. And so what I'm proposing to you is we do this monthly with weekly accountability in our own Facebook group for just $297 a month.
Grab my keys and stuff.
Is that something you guys would be interested in doing? That just barely covers my time to do it at this size. I would need a good portion of us to commit in order to launch it immediately.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it this way because let's go back to the chat box. If you're interested in the group mentorship for $297 a month, I'm not going to sell you. I'm not going to list a big long list of shit. It's this, guys. We just did it. Focused on a single topic, improving your businesses all of us at the same time every month. If you're interested, please type mentor into the box.
You know, it's good to see, you know, from people, this is a wide variety of people coming through from different parts of the continent, you know, and
Yeah.
to see and hear people are having the same struggles everywhere. It doesn't matter what state you're in or what, you know, community you're in. That's why I try to gather with some local electrical contractors. And, you know, we try to meet every now and again, have a beer and shoot the shit and just see how things are going and what things are working for them, and, you know, what's working for others and stuff. It's invaluable, really.
Yeah, I appreciate that, Roy.
So on that note, Roy, I wanted to know what your secret was.
What my secret was?
Yeah, I called a whole bunch of local electrical contractors. Only one maybe got back to me. I had to buy a van. I couldn't find any of the local dealerships. They were all either bought out or they were just, you know, too junk for too much. One electrical contractor got back to me, sold me a cheap one, but it was still better than my pickup truck. But I couldn't get a hold of anybody to talk to try and network.
The electricians are a bunch of assholes.
I was gonna say, did you call them to buy leads, James?
No.
Try to call them about leads, it's even worse. James and I pretty much hand work off to each other.
Yep.
You know, trying to get other electricians to hand work off to, they don't either want it or they want nothing to do with you.
Oh boy.
They treat you like garbage, especially down south where everybody's doing everything. If somebody told me they do power changes for $500. I just say, hey, you want to work with me? I keep you busy. But they just, no one wants to talk. They shun me like I'm a leper or something.
A leper or something. Oh boy.
The other contractors that we get together with are guys that I've come up with in the trade over the years. You know, we all worked together, different companies at one time or another. We kept in touch over the years, and they've all started their own business either before or after mine. You know, I relied heavily on them and leaned on them before I started my business, asking them questions on how they got their stuff going. You know, and started networking that way with them, and then I became the guy that people were asking, you know, how do I start my business? And they were seeing my success and like, well, I can do that too. And it's just keeping those friendships over the years has really paid off.
Absolutely. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, guys. So for the final trick then, I'm just going to put this link up. This is the payment link. I'm going to share a screen and show you just how simple this is. And we can get this finished off. Everyone see my screen?
Mm-hmm.
So the payment link's in the chat. You just have to click that link, enter your email, phone number, credit card. Everything's through Stripe. Very reputable thing. Okay, it looks like we had 6 or 7 people ready to sign up here. So that means we'll have a strong group. And the way this group will work is everyone, just like you guys got today, will get one session free. So they get to come in, participate, see the growth potential, and then they pay too. There's no one's getting a better deal or anything else. For $297 a month, I just showed you 10 grand, and now I'm going to help you get it. Have you ever heard of a fairer deal?
I paid 5 times that amount for an SEO that failed. So
yeah. There's a couple things if you guys want me to keep talking about it. There's definitely a couple goals in the group, but the Facebook group's created. So as soon as you guys pay, I'll get the thing. You'll get the invite. We'll have the monthly topic. Okay, weekly content 3 times a week. Support, of course, in that group. Now, Rebs is great, don't get me wrong, but not everyone's there for a building purpose. We're all going to be focused on the same united reason, right? So If the topic for that month is on your list from your simulator report as create a market dominating position, then we're going to work together on that, and it's going to make it that much more powerful. Okay, so other than that, we're going to set up a leadership board and actually spotlight contractors with not the biggest amount, but the most growth from where you started to where you are. Spotlight and do a monthly newsletter that people will be able to see as well. So you get to tell a bit of your story, and it'll be a really good experience. Seeing this work for a lot of other people, not this competitive, but I'm super pumped about it. We're super pumped about it. Super happy to have you guys. So hope you'll sign up. Thanks for joining me tonight. Any questions, concerns, or other before we go?
All the information, Clay. I appreciate it.
You got it, Stu. Thanks, guys. Have a great night.
Thank you.
Good night.
Cheers. I'm just going to stay on to the last one. So if you want to stick around and have a chat, I'm here too for another few minutes. One by one, they go, they go. Ryan might not even be here anymore.
I'm here. I'm just trying to exit.
Ryan, I appreciate your commitment tonight. I saw you go in the vehicle at once. I was going to tell you that there's better ways to leave a Zoom meeting than to drive away.
No, I was just going over smoke.
Okay, okay. Oh, thanks. Thanks, Ryan. Anything else, James? You all good, buddy?
Yep, no, should be good. I was just going on that website thing real quick.
Thanks. I appreciate you. Hey,
Yeah, no worries. Take it
looking
easy.
forward to seeing your growth as well. So cheers.